It's no secret that I love this camera. It's small, I can take it everywhere, and in the 6 months I've owned it, I've used it way more than my A7 IV. But I'm still thinking about selling it, and here's why.
Despite it being an everyday camera and the fact that he literally loves this camera, he wants to sell it because he's stupid.
I'm not the only one who loves the X100v. You can blame TikTok's popularity, but it is a camera that's hard to find, and for good reason, because it's such a great camera and it does such a great job at doing what you expect it to do, being the perfect everyday camera. As the X100v has grown in popularity, the price has skyrocketed. You used to be able to find one for $1,400 brand new, now you can't find one for under $2,000, and used prices are also reflected in this price increase. There's no doubt that the X100v isn't a great camera. It's a fantastic camera. That being said, it's not the best camera out there. It's definitely not the best camera you could get in its price range. $1,500 gets you a lot of different cameras, and the X100v just isn't the best you can get. Even if you find an X100v for retail price, there's plenty of other cameras like the Canon R7, the Sony a7 III, the X-T5 used even, or an X-T4 that all cost around that same price range, but are all much better cameras. But the problem is, they're bigger. And that's what makes the X100v so unique. It may not have the best specs, but it's small, it's light, it's the easiest camera to take everywhere with you. It's hard not to look at the prices the X100v is selling for used and thinking that I can make more than what I bought it for and get an even better camera. The problem is, just because that camera is better doesn't mean it does everything the X100v does as well. Right now, you can find a used X-T5 for about $1,600, the same price you could get a used X100v. The problem is, the X-T5's got a lot more features. It's got a better sensor, it's got IBIS, it's got interchangeable lenses. So how do you make that decision to spend the same amount of money on an X100v when you don't have all the same features? And yeah, you can argue that the X100v's got the OVF, EVF, it's got the leaf shutter. And if those are something that really matters for you, definitely get the X100v because there's no other camera that does that. But if you don't really think you're going to use the OVF or you care about how loud your shutter is, then the X-T5 may be the better option for you. And that's where I'm struggling. Because as cool as the OVF is on the X100v, and as cool as the leaf shutter is when shooting street photography, they're not game-changing features for me, and I could totally go without them. So the real deciding factor when choosing another camera over the X100v comes down to the size. Because the size of the X100v is why I like it so much. It's why I use it more than my A7 IV, because I can take it everywhere with me, and it doesn't feel like it's getting in the way and taking away from the experience I'm having. It doesn't feel like I'm out there to take photos, it feels like I'm out there to enjoy the experience, and taking photos is just part of that experience. I'm really making this video to talk through what's going on in my head and get some of my ideas out and help me think through my process, but I think it could be really helpful for you. If you're thinking about an X100v or a small camera or a large camera, thinking about the size of your camera and how often you'll use it is going to be really helpful. And I think the best thing for me to probably do is wait for the next generation of X100 cameras to come out, and hopefully it has the things I'm missing like IBIS and that bigger sensor, and I'll be really happy. But right now, I think when I'm editing the X100v files, I just want a little bit more out of it, and I don't have that, and that's why I'm looking at the X-T5. I know it's probably not the best move for me, but I can't help but be a little tempted at it. So I guess I could always use your help. Do you think I should sell my X100v for an X-T5? Do you think the X100v is just such a unique camera and it's not worth selling? What would you do if you had an X100v and you could sell it for an X-T5 and not lose any money? Don't be like me, don't focus too much on what gear you have, go out and shoot some photos.